If you like this video, share it on social media. This is a new channel and it helps us a lot. Hey, this is Drew reading on behalf of the film guy. I love Aquaman. Not so much this one, more this one. He's a total badass, and his new 52 comic run in parts is basically Game of Thrones under the sea. Except for all the people not drowning, because humans can't breathe underwater. But you know what? That's not important. We are getting an Aquaman movie next year and I want it to be awesome. So today, we're making some suggestions to hopefully help the director James Wan do justice to this amazing character. By the way, if you agree with some of our points, then please do tweet this to him. Anyways, I'm not alone. I'm joined by a friend of the channel who will now get this conversation started.
Hello, I'm Scott from the YouTube channel NerdSync, and Aquaman is probably my favorite superhero. You can judge me if you want, but he is awesome. I'm very excited for the Aquaman movie, but there are a few things that need to happen in order for everyone to see how awesome Aquaman truly is. So the first thing that needs to happen is Aquaman needs to be battling giant sea monsters. I don't need them to be the big bad of the movie. That is probably gonna go to Black Manta, if I'm being honest, and that's totally fine. This is what I need, like a Thor the Dark World style opening, where we just see Aquaman in battle before it cuts to the main part of the story. We see him from shot one battling some sort of mythical undersea creature that is enormous and is attacking and wreaking havoc, and he's there to stop it, and it's awesome. And then we just cut to the rest of the movie, and audiences are in their seats going, was this just like a normal day for Aquaman? This guy's awesome, because he is awesome.
But as we all know, Aquaman has been a bit of a joke in pop culture, and like Scott was talking about, we need that to change. I believe hiring Jason Momoa was a step in the right direction, but we have to go deeper. The movie shouldn't just be about proving he's a badass, but it needs to actually delve into how much of an interesting character he is. Aquaman, or Arthur Curry, is of Atlantean descent, but was raised by his adopted human parents. This is similar to how Superman has two sets of parents. His human set, wanting him to blend in and hide his powers, and the Kryptonian set, wanting him to be a savior to humanity, with the difference being most Atlanteans hating humans. So Aquaman as a character is caught in between two worlds and two identities. Genetically Atlantean, but in a lot of ways still psychologically human, with his newfound inheritance telling him to hate his human side and everything it represents. So there is a lot of interesting inner conflict there which should be explored the further they delve into the character, making the film's theme about forming an identity outside of one's parents. Okay Scott, your turn. What else do you want?
I don't really know the timeline for this movie compared to Justice League. I don't even know what's gonna happen in the Justice League movie. So wild speculation here, but what I would love to see is for Superman to show up in this movie. Let's take that beginning scene where he's battling a giant sea monster. Superman sees it, he's flying by, he's like, hey, you need some help? Without saying anything, without even making eye contact with Superman, Aquaman just backhands him into the ocean and continues to fight the sea monster by himself. There's a precedent for this sort of thing in the comic books where Aquaman just like smacks Superman around. It would show us that Aquaman can go toe-to-toe with Superman. He's not a weakling as everybody thinks that he is. It would also show that he doesn't need any help. He can take care of business all by himself, which could help the plot of the movie, because it would mean that, let's say there is a big final battle at the climax, you might be wondering, oh, why don't the rest of the Justice League show up and help? Well, this could be why, because everyone's looking at it like, I don't want to help that guy. As a jerk, smacked Superman.
Okay, my turn. This movie needs to make Atlantis into a huge, mysterious, and intriguing microverse. The city basically needs to be its own character, much like how New York is often said to be a character in Martin Scorsese films. It's something that Zack Snyder did very well in Man of Steel. The way he designed Krypton, from the technology, to the fashion, to the creatures, everything felt very thought out and lived in. I was left intrigued and wanting to know more about their culture and technology. Atlantis needs to be the same. A bad example of this would be the Star Wars Gungan city of O2 Gunga on Naboo. If you didn't know that was the name of the city, that's exactly my point. Sure, it looked pretty cool when we first saw it, but the city was mostly unexplored. We were left with little to no hints at its culture or society. We basically just saw a throne room full of weak-minded, stupidly conceived aliens. James Wan and Warner Brothers have to do better. Now Scott, I know there is one thing you are desperately wanting them to include.
Every fiber of my being needs this to be in the Aquaman movie. We talked about giant sea monsters, right? Him battling those creatures, but he needs one on his side, on his team. That's right, I'm talking about none other than the Silver Age's favorite octopus, Topo. Aquaman's sidekick, who can play instruments, who can shoot a bow and arrow, who can just be all around awesome. And in the New 52, they changed him to this giant kraken. He is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I need him to be in this movie just to show that Aquaman has his whole universe, his whole underwater universe is so rich and filled with interesting characters and undersea life. And everyone needs to know it. He's not just some guy who swims through the ocean and then I can't help you if you're battling on land. I'll be in here trying to stop water pollution or whatever. He fights monsters and consults with them. He's such a cool character, guys. We need Topo, we need monsters, we need we need him to show that he can go toe to toe with Superman. That's what I need in an Aquaman movie. I need everyone to walk out of the theater going, you know what? Aquaman? Newfound respect for that guy. Thanks for having me on. If anyone wants to go check out what I do, I make weekly comic book videos over on the YouTube channel NerdSync. We go in more depth about comic books and superheroes, stuff like philosophy, science, art, history, that kind of stuff. If any of that sounds interesting to you, please come check me out, come subscribe. We'd love to have you over there as a part of our community.
Guys, please go follow Scott. He's a great guy and his channel is even greater. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and alert button.
Just do it!
Also check out some of my other content, like my video breaking down the style and tropes of Wes Anderson, or my other on David Fincher. And you can follow The Film Guy on Twitter and Instagram at The Real Film Guy, or if you like my voice, you can follow me at TES Drew. Otherwise, I'll see you later.